I made a video responding to another video where somebody was claiming that math proves the existence of God, which it does not. But in that video, several people said, like, well, Gödel proved the existence of God using logic. So in this video, we're going to talk about Gödel's proof. And in fact, I'm going to make two videos. This one is going to be more generic and about the history of that proof. And then I'm going to do another video with the specifics of that proof. But first of all, let's hear Gödel, actual Gödel, about this particular question. Did he prove the existence of God?
You sure about that? You sure about that?
Okay, maybe that's not Gödel, but the point is right. Did he really prove the existence of God? So here's what happened. In about 1940, Gödel came up with a logic proof of the existence of God. I'll talk more about that in a moment. And then he kept it quiet for 30 years until he thought he was dying, and he told a friend of his that he had written this proof using modal logic. And then he asked not to publish it because he thought that if it was published, people would think that he believed in the existence of God, and it was not the case. In fact, this was just some exercise in logic and how to axiomatize something like God and its existence. So did he prove the existence of God? No, he proved a theorem in mathematics, a theorem in modal logic. He set up some axioms, and then he proved that from the axioms follows something else. That's it. So does that prove anything? No, it only proves a theorem. Now the question is, if you think this is applied math, in applied math we also prove theorems, but the assumptions somewhat relate to our actual real life, and then we can try to make a mathematical model of the world we live in. So the question is, do the axioms that Gödel chose, do they model your world or the world we live in? And then would that imply the existence of God? And my opinion is that they do not. For one thing, even if you assume the axioms do model our world, what Gödel proves is that there is a godlike figure, and the godlike figure is defined as something that has all the good properties. Everything is divided in good and evil, and there exists some entity that satisfies all good properties. That doesn't even prove the existence of God. It proves that there is something that satisfies all the properties that you decide are good. For all I care, there are puppies out there that satisfy all properties that I hold as good. So maybe his proof only proves that there is an amazing puppy out there that is the cutest of all puppies and the goodest of all boys. And that's it. Otherwise, if you believe that the axioms do imply that they do model your world, maybe you think they do prove the existence of God. But I bet that if you assume those axioms to be modeling your world, you probably already think that God exists, which you are free to do so because it's a faith-based question. And if you believe in God, then you probably trust Gödel's proof.